Okay, so this is the overview video for the property planning content. In terms of users, the property planning content is aimed more at the finance side of things than developers. So if you're a developer looking for FISO type content, then I recommend you head across to our property feasibility library and check out the FISO content there. That's pretty impressive stuff, allows you to run a whole host of complex analyses, including time-based sensitivities. Those models roll as well. So if you're a developer, then probably check out the feasibility content. In terms of the focus of this content, it's really more aimed at consolidated multi-asset property analysis. So where three-way financials are important, where you're looking at tax planning, balance sheet ratios, all that kind of consolidated work is what the focus of this planning analysis is. So you can still do individual developments, you can do individual investment appraisals, but the focus is really more on trying to aggregate information. So for example, you might be looking at a construction company with multiple ongoing projects and wanting to just understand almost the portfolio effect of those construction activities in terms of construction WIP and what have you, rather than just looking at any one individual construction project to understand the performance of that. Likewise, your classic property developers that have got 10, 20 ongoing projects, trying to understand the portfolio effect is really what the property planning content is aimed at. And equally, if you're a property fund manager, then most of what you're trying to do can be done automatically using this property planning content. So essentially, it's a modular modeling system for creating and managing models really easily. And you can pretty much put any property structure together. So once you start to think of models in terms of modularity, the ability to build up even the most complex of property structures becomes incredibly easy. We'll just give you a quick overview of how Modano works here. There's a much more detailed process of use covered in the next video. In terms of Modano itself, so we're no longer building models on a manual basis. We're not writing individual formulas. Instead, we insert content at that modular level. So for example, if I want to look at a commercial property development, I simply go to Insert from Web, select Commercial Property Development, and that content is built out for me automatically by the system. Within that content itself, if you're looking to scale that up, again, right-click, add categories. Modano can handle that aspect. Equally with the time series, the models are incredibly easy to extend or shorten. It simply involves just changing an assumption and Modano will do the rest for you. And one of the really impressive aspects of Modano, it relates to the actual rolling of historical and forecast information. So the property planning models cover historical and forecast information, and every month you can simply update for your latest historicals and roll the model forward. So your monthly process of updating these models becomes incredibly short and efficient, and the models handle and present that information on a continuous basis in a really kind of seamless way. Ultimately, still just all Excel as well. So if you want to make any changes to calculations, you can still do that. Other thing to note is that the protection is more comprehensive and matched towards a modeling system than Excel's standard, it's protected or it isn't protected. So you can allow your staff to scale up the model, change certain aspects, change assumptions, but if you want to protect the formulas themselves, you can do that aspect. So it's really designed around a comprehensive modeling process. And ultimately, it's all just best practice. So very clear segregation of assumptions and calculations, conditional formatting to indicate when assumptions are active, fairly user-friendly. So that's just a quick overview of the property planning content. So a modular modeling system within Excel. Once you start to think in terms of modularity, the ability to model even the most complex property development or property fund becomes quick and efficient. All still within Excel, just a lot more dynamic, and everything's just a lot more controlled.